How you going, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fair Dinkum podcast. We had all four boys back in the studio today just talking about social media presence. So we spoke a lot about our journey of posting publicly, balancing the podcast and how much we want to show ourselves. Also, how much we post on our own personal accounts in terms of content, what things we want to show, not show. We spoke a lot about also dealing with negativity because that's inevitable being in the public eye as well. And Souhail could be coming back to social media. Keep up to date with that and hopefully you enjoy the episode.
That are jumping on board just because someone else said it. They don't really believe what they're saying. They don't believe in it. So that thing is not a hill they're willing to die upon. For the people that we really want to get on our side, or the people that we really want to see the truth, are the people that will die on the belief, the heart of the truth. You know, the truth, the true belief. Yeah. So when, like for example, when push comes to shove, when that's proven wrong, they'll just switch sides.
Fair dinkum. Okay, I reckon the first thing that I wanted to touch on with you boys is everything that's going on online. Obviously, Fair dinkum, we've been trying to have a voice, spreading the right information. And I think that's relevant in today's day and age because, I don't know, have you guys seen like Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, and these guys like, did you see Selena Gomez's post?
What about?
Like about the Israel-Palestine conflict.
She's an idiot, yeah.
Yeah, she's the most followed female on Instagram. She's like second, I think, altogether followers.
I thought Swift was.
You think so, but
No, she's
I
not.
don't know how.
They have beef, I know that.
Do they?
Yeah, they have beef.
Aren't they best
Why?
friends?
Who is it that has beef? Selena Gomez
And Justin Bieber's missus.
No, it's not Hailey.
No, but they have
Anyway.
beef.
Two big armies.
Carry on.
Okay, but Selena Gomez, she's like the most followed female, and she's spreading misinformation about what's going on. And 430 million followers,
Yeah.
spreading misinformation. And then when she spread the misinformation, she got a lot of backlash. And she goes, "Oh, I need a mental health break from social media. I need to take some time away." And when I saw that, I started seeing all these other celebrities, you know, like Angelina Jolie posted something about Gaza, 15 million followers, which was actually a good thing. But when you look at 15 and then
430.
yeah, it's like, and that's within Muslims. What do we have? 100,000, 50,000, 3,000. And it's like, how many people with big audiences are actually spreading the right information? Because if you have, 400,000, even if, 10% watches of 400 million, even if 10% watch is still 40 million. Like that's beating, every single Muslim page I can think of. And it's like that kind of thing where I was just thinking like, how important is it in our day and age now to try to have voices spreading the right information? Which is why...
They were talking about influencers, or the effect of influencers on, for example, branding and marketing and stuff like that in my course. And they've actually come to the conclusion that people are more distrustful of larger social media platforms than, for example, your micro-influencers that only have maybe 10, 15K. So when they look at, for example, Kim Kardashian, they know she's trying to sell something. Or for example, Selena Gomez, they know she's trying to sell something, so they can kind of read through the lines. But when it comes to, like, I don't know, Huda Beauty or someone else like that, they take, but she's got a pretty big following.
Yeah.
But good on her, man. She's a legend for what she's done. But anyways, you have people that have more of a cult following, somebody who they trust their opinion because they've created the engagement or relationship with their brand enough for them to be able to, or with their fans, in order for them to be able to go, hang on a second, she hasn't lied to me in the past. She hasn't steered me wrong in the past, but these people have. Because these guys are all about the paycheck and these people are all about spreading information. So it's like there's the social media or the online community is a lot more, how do I say it? They're a lot more smart, a lot more quick-witted now. They can tell when they're being sold something that's fake, and they can tell when they're being sold something of value. Do you know what I mean?
I think bigger audiences. I remember when LeBron wrote his post saying, "I stand with Israel," all the comments were, "Thanks, LeBron's PR rep." And that's what maybe I think bigger audiences that have the PR guy, the PR team, and they tell you what to post. But the 10, 15K Instagrammer, influencer just does whatever they want.
They should ask him, what's your favorite quote from that statement? so many great quotes. You're a clown, bro.
But what do you guys think? Like, is it an important thing now where Muslims should be trying, or even not Muslims, but people that are spreading the right information should be trying to build up an audience so they can spread the right information? Because if Muslims or us keep having accounts with a couple thousand followers, we're not spreading to the masses. But then, like, you know, how many Muslim pages have 100 million followers or even 50?
Yeah.
It's not common.
I think
Like,
with
something you guys think about?
Yeah, I think with social media as well, it's like with a lot of these pages, it's like a sheep herd mentality. You know, when you got like Selena Gomez posting something, LeBron James, and like Sue said, it's like a cult following, yeah? So what ends up happening is people start to repost that, whatever, yeah? At least the cult people, yeah? People that don't know about the bigger issue that's going on. So when that constantly gets reposted, people think that's sort of the truth without digging into the information. So that's how sort of like misinformation gets spread. But when that, like, I guess, monopoly of like audience, when you've got like LeBron who's got 40 million and you've got Selena that's got 70 million who have like a larger reach, when you can go to like someone else with 10K and all that kind of stuff, it helps. Like for example, like the number one guy in like Palestine right now, Mu'taz or whatever his name is, you know, like he's given us an insight to what's going on in Palestine that we wouldn't have got through, even let's just say like someone like Umar Suleiman, who's still got a good reach, you know, and we might be able to get like a different touch of like what's going on, you know what I mean? And not even like for the Muslim causes, or even like with causes that I guess we wouldn't understand ourselves, or we wouldn't have some sort of like connection to, you know what I mean? And like I guess that's what Elon Musk is sort of creating with Twitter, you know what I mean? Where he goes and pushes for more people to be able to say what's like they want to say without sort of censorship, you know? Because then in that case, what ends up happening is then you start following one person and then like that goes on.
Like Joe Rogan during COVID.
Yeah.
Like how many people wanted to literally cancel him because they said misinformation and stuff like that. They wanted to limit his podcast.
And from his point of perspective, he's not intentionally probably spreading misinformation. He's just got such a large audience, yeah, where if he just gets one guest on, yeah, what ends up happening is that he's able to reach much more people compared to like, let's say, if we got like, I don't know, a John Kennedy or something along that talks about vaccines. Do you know what I'm saying? So what ends up happening is if we have more spread platforms than that, I guess people who have a voice makes it easier, you know?
Is this something that you guys think about, like with Fair Income, like wanting to have a bigger voice? Because sometimes, like obviously us, we're confident that Islam is the right thing and that we are on the right side of the situation right now and stuff. Is it something you guys think about? It's like, hey, I want to have a bigger following so I can benefit more people. You know what I mean? That's that's literally what it is.
I get the question. So for us, we need to decipher that this isn't a religious issue. One thing that you mentioned was that Islam is on the right side. We're not talking about Islam. We're talking about Palestinians against Zionists, against the Israeli occupation, who's currently committing obviously genocide and war crimes against a population of people who's basically run down to the ground. Haram. They're just sitting ducks at the moment. So for us, yeah, we have to understand something. The community online, bro, anybody who has a phone is able to open a social media account. Yeah. For us, we need to be able to decipher between people of value and people who are never going to understand, who never want to understand, and who already have preconceived notions about a population of people or against a population of people. And those things are going to always rule over logic and reason. So you have, for example, and I remember, subhanAllah, I was talking to an older in my community. He's telling me a story. It's not really a smart story. It was a joke. Yeah. He goes to me, there's a tiger and a donkey, and they're arguing about the color of the grass. So the donkey said the grass is blue. Tiger goes, man, you're tripping out. Like, it's obviously green. Yeah. Like, why are we even arguing about this? But the donkey's adamant, headstrong, that the grass is blue. So the tiger goes, all right, let's go to the king and let's ask him. He'll tell you the truth. So he goes to the king, which is the lion, the king of the jungle. He goes to him, what color is the grass? And the king looks at the tiger and goes, what did the donkey say? He said blue. He said, it's blue. And then the donkey walked off thinking he won. He's so smart. And then tiger looks at the lion and goes to him, bro, it's obviously green. What are you doing? Yeah? And he goes to him, you're going to argue for Jahash.
Yeah.
He goes, you're literally going to argue for Jahash. He goes, move on with your life. Yeah? So he goes, these people online, everybody has a phone. Anybody who has a phone can open a social media account. So for us, yeah, when you have so many voices and so much people chiming in their opinions without, like moderation or somebody sifting through and going, this is relevant, this is irrelevant. We have to understand that automatically us human beings, yeah, the people who actually want to look for or want to look for the truth, will decipher through things in a logical manner. The people that don't want to look for the truth, they just want confirmation bias on what they believe and what their preconceived notions are, they're going to obviously automatically go to one side. So the people in the middle are the people that we're fighting to harness, to get on our side, to be able to spread those words further, because they probably know people who are sitting on the fence also, who they can reach. So for the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of things, we can have 400 million followers, like Justin Khara and the rest of them, yeah? But when they say things, bro, Justin Bieber's a singer. I'm not going to take your word on what's going on in the political
But you're
shit.
thinking logically. Well, most of the
Yeah.
people
That's what
are
I'm
like,
telling you.
if Justin Bieber sides with this, he must be right. And Justin Bieber and all their favorite singers, there's a lot of people that are diehard fans. Like, that's a
they
normal
worship
thing.
these people.
And it's thousands of people who are diehards. So I would literally, they would stand on one side because, for example, they say, I don't have knowledge on it, but the person I love has said this, so I'll side with them.
Supposed knowledge as well.
And a lot of
Yeah.
people, like, they get to a point with athletes and celebrities, it's like, oh, I actually rate this guy's opinion. And then once he does do like the post with the PR management, they actually believe it and then they follow that opinion. So it does make an impact.
It reflects, the statement. If you stand for nothing, you'll die for nothing. You know what I mean? If you stand for something and you die for, bro, it's gonna be a lot more solidified. It's gonna be something you actually believe in, something you're actually willing to die for. These people that are jumping on board just because someone else said it, they don't really believe what they're saying. They don't believe in it. So that thing is not a hill they're willing to die upon. For the people that we really want to get on our side, or the people that we really want to see the truth, are the people that will die on the belief, the heart of the truth. The truth, the true belief. Yeah. So when, like for example, when push comes to shove, when that's proven wrong, they'll just switch sides, because they just don't want to be seen as a bad person. You understand?
Yeah.
So if they go with the masses, which is what the media is telling them, which is what this social media account, Justin Bieber or Selena Gomez, yeah, they're just going to do that because right now that's the popular thing to do. I'll be seen as a good person and I can move on with my life. They don't really care about the situation.
Yeah.
For people that care, they're willing to go into the crux of the matter and be logical and actually find the truth. That's my take on it, at least. I'm not really concerned with the people that are on the fence. Sorry, I'm not really concerned about the people that are just looking to get fed information. They're waiting for people to tell them what to think and feel. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're looking for the people that you can actually want to have interest, and then they'll be educated on the topic. So do you think, Wally, like, we should be striving to have like bigger audiences? Because these are basic things where if you have 1,000 followers, you're not reaching out to that many people. Obviously, it still helps, but is that a goal? Like, we should be all striving to have a bigger audience so we can
As
benefit
in
more people.
individually or like as Fedinco as a group?
How do you look at it? Should both be?
Well,
You know?
personally, I think having a platform yourself is like, it's a pretty scary thing. Do you get what I mean? Because what ends up happening is you're sort of held to account, and it's like the idea of your beliefs and what you do and how you act will be judged in the court of public opinion. Do you get what I mean? So every move and all that kind of stuff, you know. So I don't think people should be going out there and being like, hey, let me try and garner the largest audience that I can. You know, like that sort of thing sort of like comes through in terms of like your work, you know what I mean? Like if we're doing creative work, or if we're doing like something like this, like a podcast, yeah, where we generally enjoy having conversation, all that kind of stuff, we don't go sitting on the couch to be like to people, hey, come look at us, and we are sort of like the standard. Do you get what I mean? I feel like once you come with that sort of identity, first of all, it's easy to tell the difference between, yeah, like someone who's being like genuine and not genuine. And the second thing is, when you do get to that sort of like status, like for example, let's just take celebrities like Chunks or something like that, you know what I mean? Where it's like he's sort of done it and he blew up, and then now he's in this position where, hey, why aren't you speaking about, like, going back to the Palestine, why aren't you speaking about this Palestine and all that kind of stuff? That's a pressure that you got to like understand. So it's like, I don't think you should ask for it per se, but if it does come to you, then that's where you've got to be solidified in your fundamental beliefs.
Yeah, I remember I used to have an opinion, like maybe it was just to us. I don't know if it was for everyone, but used to say everyone should have like a social media brand.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah,
you still like believe that?
Well,
and then
I think that from the creative side of things. Do you get what I mean? Like let's just say we're all doing like a podcast or whatever, similar to that of like, let's just say like a beta squad, or you got like an AMP and all that kind of stuff, where it's like there's the group thing, and then there's the individual thing. You know what I mean? So people who then go to watch, like, let's just say Ali or something, and they're vested in Ali, know they might get like travel vlogs or something along those lines. You know what I
But
mean?
they both benefit each other.
Yeah.
Because I think the difference now that you guys are saying is like with content creation, with building a social media brand, it's not an you shouldn't be chasing the numbers, which is obviously a normal thing, and 9 times out of 10 that's the best thing to do. Authenticity, being true to your audience. But then in a situation like Palestine and Israel, it's like the more numbers you reach, the better.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of thing. But then every other content, it's like, I'd rather have the quality. Now it's more of a quantity.
And when you do chase the numbers, it affects you a lot, bro, because then what ends up happening, similar to what Sue said, you don't really have a side that you stand on. Like, I know this guy on like Twitter. I don't know if you guys have seen him. You would have seen his tweets a lot in regards to like Israel and Palestine. Jason Hinkle or something.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah. Like that guy there, yeah.
He's
Pro-
a flip-flopper.
He's pro-Palestine at the moment, and he's doing pretty well, you know what I mean? He has a large audience on Twitter. He has a large reach, whatever. But if people were to actually see his like old tweets, and whenever there's some sort of like a situation that like breaks out, whether it's like one time he's anti-America, then he'll be pro-Russia, you know what I mean?
Oh, he keeps jumping.
Like he'll jump on like the biggest thing. And I know the moment I realized, hey, yo, what's wrong with this guy? You know, because you can sort of like smell like bullshit, if that makes sense. Like this guy will go, because Twitter has now this like creator space. Yeah. So where basically if you have followers and all that kind of stuff, you can monetize those followers and people will actually go to you for that specific cause. You know what I mean? And so he created this creator space just for updates in regards to like Palestine, you know? And it'd be like, oh, they're trying to censor me and all this kind of stuff. $3. Like subscribe to my thing. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And what ends up happening is you think that's kind of normal because it's like, okay, cool. Why are they censoring him? Clearly he's telling some sort of truth and all that kind of stuff. But it's also sad at the same time that this guy is trying to go and be, like similar to what you said, try and garner an audience and get as big as possible and monetize at the same time, especially in a situation like this. You know what I mean? That's where it's like not authentic. You want to be as authentic as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with him. Look, if you create something and you build on an organic basis on things that you believe in, your morals, your ethics, or things you're actually interested in. Like, for example, if I make a page about fashion, I don't really care about fashion. I'm just doing it to get numbers. When I start speaking at things I want to speak about, people are just going to jump off board. They don't really care because they came to my social media for a reason. And if they're not achieving or receiving that stuff, they're going to leave because people don't want to sit there and wait for something to occur that they obviously were looking for from the beginning. So, for example, like people in the past, they loved the right wing, the whole anti-feminist, the red pill movement kind of thing. So a lot of people garnered a lot of following because of their views and because they started stating, and then if it stopped feeding them, they'll flip flop. Like for example, Piers Morgan's a prime example. He went from CNN to becoming more of a right winger guy to this to that. Basically, he just moves wherever the money is. You know what I mean? So people have to understand that you have to you have to build somewhat of an organic following rooted in the morals and ethics that you stand on and the things that you actually enjoy doing and that you want people to perceive you as or you want people to associate you with, and then you can go from there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then also on top of that, later on when like a crisis where something that's aligned to your brand and whatever,
they're not surprised.
Exactly.
Against me, and
they're not surprised. It's like, why the hell is everyone unfollowing now? It's like, if anything, go unfollow if you want, because this is who I am. This is sort of what I've created, But I find it so backwards and I guess that's what news is at the end of the day, where like news doesn't really have a stance, except anything that's going to get them views. Like on YouTube, you see like a drama alert, whatever, or on like Piers Morgan's a very, very good example in a scenario like this, and it's similar to like leadership. Like with the leadership, you never should
they
go
sway
out
with the population, the masses. Whoever's going to vote for them the most, they sway with.
Exactly.
Labour, for example, for the longest time, they pretended they were left-wingers and we're the lesser of two evils and blah, blah, blah. Now we're starting to see their true face. They went from being in a masjid the night before or the day before, and then the next day they're going, we unequivocally support the state of Israel and their actions and whatever they do. Hang on a second. You know that those people that you went in the mosque and preached again or preached to were literally going to be on the pro-Palestinian side. You have the audacity to do that the next day without actually thinking about the consequences of your actions. Come on, man. It's a bit of a no-brainer, bro.
I reckon it would be good if we each chat about our own personal brand, because I think we all have a very different perspective on it with social media. Like, we all have a podcast, and that's already uncommon. And to be able to, give content weekly, have guests, talk about our own personal lives, we kind of open up a little bit, but then our own personal brands are very different. Ali's right now posting every single day for the next, he's going to do 2 more months of
What
that.
day are you on now?
That's
About 18.
I don't believe you.
Posting. Why don't you believe it?
Just,
Don't believe social
shut it
media.
actually explain it to those that are like don't know what you're doing.
what you're doing.
Yeah, the 75.
Okay, so
It'll be good.
some of us boys are doing 75 hard. Would you want me to explain the challenge? Or
Yeah,
just
explain the
what
challenge and
content?
why you're posting on social media.
Oh, the challenge is basically revolved around building consistency. So there's 2 workouts, following a diet, reading 10 pages of a non-fiction every day, and a progress photo. This is 75 days consecutively. So yeah, the main purpose is consistency, which I feel like I lack. So I think this challenge is perfect for me right now. The idea of posting it every day,
Yeah.
it was just a random thought because I've seen specific accounts doing it. So I thought, you know what, it could be a challenge that could be a bit uncomfortable and difficult towards the end, like after a few weeks, if not a few months. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this on. At least I can say that I tried it, because I think a lot of people like to see, when they see social media accounts, people are making money off content creation. Like it sounds good. It looks like a nice life, financial freedom. People say that I'd love to be on that side. But then I want to at least see and test myself if I'm so-called cut out for it. Can I do, so it's 2.5 months roughly, consistent content every single day? Is this something I can actually go out and make it happen, kind of thing? So it's more of a personal challenge, really. In terms of how much I want to show about myself is also I'm figuring out. And that comes down to the Islamic things as well, because you see these days, there's actually a lot of accounts, people showing what they're doing, Islamically for their deen, studying, reading and all that kind of stuff. But then I feel like that can really play with your intentions possibly. So I'm kind of not jumping into it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I know before you were starting the challenge, you're going back and forth between deciding whether or not I should post it, because you could easily do it behind the scenes, yeah?
Yeah.
What made you then make that leap to then go be like, okay, cool, I can post it online?
I think for me is at least starting with the people that know me, that I'm doing this challenge and they're seeing me do it every day. Because look, these days, I don't know if it's me, but maybe most people are not socializing as much. I don't see a lot of my friends as often. So if they're at least seeing me that I'm doing a challenge every day, and they say, okay, he's always working out, he hasn't fallen off a day, it will push me to do more. Like 1 or 2 of the boys I actually know, they're not even in the country, I don't even speak to them often. All of a sudden they send me a voice message saying,
Nice.
oh, you're actually inspiring me, this is good, man, I'm going to actually start the challenge. I'm going to watch your content every day, so hopefully you're going to keep at it.
Yeah.
So for me, that means a lot. Obviously the thoughts of, I can get more followers creep in, because that attention, naturally that's what we like. But yeah, so I think just reinstating my intention, which is not easy, but it's a daily thing as well as doing this challenge. But I'm seeing a lot of benefit, alhamdulillah, man, just in terms of how much effort it takes as well.
But by posting this, this sort of ties in with Ashraf's question before about, I guess, trying to inspire people and whatever. Do you go into that 75 hard, because it is sort of like a motivational challenge, whatever? Do you go into that thinking by the end of the 75 hard, I want to go and inspire a set number amount of people, or just people in general?
It's more of just people getting an aspect of my life. I don't want to show more of the fitness side, because I don't mind showing the fitness side of my life publicly. The other things I'm not too sure of. I don't want to show everything. Fitness is a nice thing because it can really enhance everything else.
The thing is, you have shown some deen stuff, maybe Quran class
slowly,
stuff.
not much.
So you try to keep it minimal, because there's not doing it at all, like you were saying before, but then doing a little of it. Does that ever fight those intentions? When I'm in Quran class, I'm going to record it.
Yeah, a lot of times I've had those thoughts, and it's not easy. I'm still fighting it as of now. Should I post it? Obviously I'm not posting every time, because like I don't want to compare myself, but I see other accounts posting every day like Deen related things. So I'm still seeing how it goes, because it's an interesting space, like you're seeing now. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I see some accounts like Deen related things, it does inspire me to do more. Some things could be a bit cringy, but then it's like, if you really have the right intentions, what else really matters? Like,
Yeah, true.
about certain people's opinions. Because I was even reading with Diary of a CEO, and he mentioned that no matter what level you're at in terms of influence and impact, there's always going to be three people: people that love you, people that hate you, and people that just don't care about you.
What a segue. I reckon the next question is actually just a follow up on this, yeah? So this isn't only to Ali, this is the rest of the boys too. Obviously, we've been doing podcasts for how long? 2 years, 3 years?
4.
Sorry, my
Nice.
apologies, 4 years.
Yeah, 4.
But I think one thing that's I think people want to hear from us specifically is the negative comments that we receive. How do we deal with it? And what's the worst thing that you've heard said to you or about you in the comment section? This is open to the floor.
Comment
Yeah?
section. You guys might have to remind me what the worst. You guys might remember about other people in the group.
Someone called me the Dajjal once.
Is that TikTok?
A Dajjal, yes.
Yeah, TikTok's
And,
at another level, bro. TikTok, they just...
That is bad.
Yeah, that's horrible. Wallah, that,
But for me, it was funny. Like when I saw
how
it,
did you
it
react
was
to
a
it
bit-
Wait, what's
initially?
the context of being called a Dajjal though?
Yeah, well, do you remember what it was?
Because it's kind of like if you're talking about something on the religious side of things and it doesn't align with somebody else's beliefs or what they believe is correct, they can say that you're spreading fitna and you're causing deception within the ummah. So they call you a dajjal.
You're the
Yeah, not
Antichrist.
dajjal like you literally go one eye,
Yeah.
but they're saying like the concept of dajjal is deceit.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, bro, for you to go out of your way to call me the dajjal, I really appreciate helping the algorithm, but like.
That's
Yeah,
all that
bad
matters, yeah?
comments are a good thing.
Like this is the way I dealt with it was hilarious because he's like, you sit there and you think to yourself, hang on a second, bro. Anybody who has a phone has the capability to open an Instagram, TikTok, Facebook account and make a comment on whatever they want. Bro,
It's true.
they can say what, bro. I don't know, off the top of your head now, I'm pretty sure you can name a list of people that you look at, and when they say something to you, you're just gonna be like, "Oh, man, I don't want to hear it." Do you know what I mean? Like, let's all be honest. There are people here, if they say something to you and they make a comment, you automatically just dismiss it and you move on with your life.
A lot of
yeah?
people, yeah.
Other ones later. But so for us, we have to understand and see social media as that, as a bunch of people who we don't know, who probably don't see eye to eye with us, that have the capability to comment, because obviously it's the court of public opinion. Yeah, this whole area the algorithm can take your video to anywhere, and we saw it recently on the
ICV one.
Yeah, the ICV
We went
app.
to
That was crazy.
What happened?
Zionist algorithm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we had like on our YouTube like 60 comments in like one morning, all talking.
My
about-
sister messaged me, she screenshotted it, and she messages me, and she goes to me, bro, the Zionists are attacking you guys, what's going on? And I'm like, what? I looked at the comments, I'm like, what?
60 comments in just one morning. We wake up, boom.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
Like,
No, but how do you take bad comments though? So when you see something like that and you get called the Antichrist, like how do you go about, how's that affect
the
you?
Antichrist. I love that. I actually want to change my name now. But bro, no, sometimes, man, I sit there and I laugh about it because I'm like, bro, what a judge, man. Like, how
Yeah.
dumb can you be? Like, the video actually literally explains. Like, I'll give you an example. Yeah, there was the one video I spoke about that experience that I had in Japan. You know, the one with the Pakistani restaurant. I did not say this guy's Pakistani. I did not say Pakistanis are all one thing. I did not say
That's true, you
anything
didn't say that,
to actually attack a population of people
Yeah.
or a demographic of people. I did not say anything. I was relaying my experience at a restaurant. Oh, he's a waffler. Oh, he's this or he's that. I started laughing because I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
quite obviously you're wanting to hear what you want to hear.
Mm.
Yeah, you're looking at this from the perspective of, I really don't like this guy for some reason, so I want to make sure that I have some sort of an effect, or that I shoot something at this dude for him to feel it. And I don't like to give myself too much prominence in that regard. But for me, it's just funny because it's like, bro, if you listen to the video correctly, you wouldn't have had these qualms or these queries. So you probably listened to it one time, and you felt the type of way because the word Pakistani was brought up, and that the guy was a bit of an aerator. So you're like, no, you know what? I'm gonna let him have it.
Yeah.
So I don't care, bro. In the end of the day,
You guys do understand how much like negative energy it takes to type a negative comment.
Facts.
You're watching the video. Obviously, we've had thoughts. Negative thoughts are like watching a video. But then there's another thing about clicking the comment section, typing, "Oh my God, why is this guy talking about Pakistani restaurant?" Like, that's a lot, bro.
No, bro, they
that
thought
comes.
I was talking about Pakistan, the people of Pakistan themselves.
Yeah.
Like, bro, even if
Pakistania.
bro, if somebody talks to me about a Lebanese person doing something dumb, I'm not going, hang on a second, how can you talk about all Lebanon? Like, no, bro.
And I love that about the internet, yeah? Because people don't understand. It's the negative or the most negative comments often come from the clips, whether on Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
So they don't get full context. And people don't understand that, like, often it's edited purposely in a way where there is some sort of misinformation or it's been cut at a certain time. So then you can be baited into listening to it. Do you get what I mean?
What's your story? What was the comment that comes to head? Comes to
But
mind?
well, I was going to finish off that point 1 second, yeah? Very rarely do people then go to the podcast, yeah? So, for example, they go to the podcast and listen to it and be like, they never have that. Do you get it? Because even if you look at the comments on a YouTube video in relation to a comments on TikTok or Instagram, it's very, very, and it's always the most proud people with XX, blah, blah, da, 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 like 10 number fake accounts or something along those lines that make these comments, you know? It's like, shush, man.
Like a homeless guy got a grip of a phone, he wanted to burn the world down with him while he's suffering, bro.
But shout out to Pakistanis because they stay strong with each other. Well, like, after that clip, I didn't know that, you know?
Sorry,
Thought
bro.
it was just a
that
smiley thing.
guy's still an aerator. I don't care what nationality he is. Well, yeah.
Okay, what's
Carry
your
on.
story, Wally?
Now, you give us yours, Ashraf.
Mine that comes to the first thing that comes was maybe it was the first time I got a backlash.
Which
It was the marriage episode.
Okay.
That was the first time I got it, and that's what obviously comes to mind.
But that was in real life, though. It wasn't in the comment section. Yeah.
I was in the comment section too.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, like I think it was
Oh, the comment section, that was one of the only YouTubes
there
one
was,
where
yeah, there was a lot of comments, and it's
Yeah.
like I just immature or something like that. And then I was trying to get married then, so it was a big thing. Like I'm trying to be conscious of what I say.
Well,
And
his
that was the
father-in-law is going through the comments.
He's going
section.
through the comments.
Nah, this guy's immature.
The
they sent it
in-laws,
to
bro,
him.
the in-laws, the cousins, Fulan's gonna read it. But that was the first time where it's like Ashraf's immature, Ashraf's this, Ashraf doesn't think like that, and then it's like, oh, okay, you know.
So how'd you like deal with
The thing
that
is,
over time?
when it's a burner account, it's obviously easier to do. Obviously, there's a lot of face-to-face advice we got after that episode. So that was another thing where it's like, even if there's 1 or 2 comments on YouTube and then 3-4 people in real life, it kind of makes you think like, it's different when, because there was a burner account that you don't know who they are, you can kind of ignore it. But then when people in real life say similar things, then you're like, hey, is this real? And you kind of have to fight it. And then you're like, hey, I'm confident in what I said.
Yeah.
You know, you said it for a reason, even if that's a different time of your life. It wasn't like even like the Dajjal comment, something you could ignore. But when it's like maybe we've all experienced it when it's an attack on your character, it's a bit different. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
they said
it's-
like, you know, maybe I think when you're Sheikh Bilal and so like Day of Judgment and stuff. Like if you get comments like that, it's like
I
you
remember that
question it a bit more like, is this real? And then you're like, but who's X5's
Oh,
27B?
When they said we're goofy.
Yeah,
No,
for
but
context, yeah,
if
why
they
they're
attack your
laughing so
character,
much.
Yeah.
if they
Look,
attack your
Sheikh
character,
Bilal
yeah.
uncomfortable, bro. Like Sheikh Bilal, he's a homie. He's like one of us, bro.
Yeah, apparently they know him more than us.
One of us. One of us.
So for us, it's hilarious to see that there's people that believe they know the truth or they know the full picture based off of a clip. And like, for example, somebody I really rate, and I've said this a million times, Dr. Yasser Morsi, for me, he's probably one of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my life. And for them to look at the clip that we put up of him, where he was obviously quoting somebody else saying, yeah, bring down the West, you know? And he's like, good, and he explained, and he's like, okay, but instead of doing that, do this. Yeah? And automatically people just took what they wanted, which was the bring down the West part, even though in the context of things he was quoting other people. Then they go, you're so dumb. You're using platforms from the West to relay this. Go make your own platform.
I saw that.
It's like, bro, you're obviously stupid.
Yeah, definitely.
You're obviously dumb as shite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he can't be watching that clip and thinking this. But then again, like we said earlier, there's an echo chamber in the world. People want to hear what they want to hear because something is against their morals or their beliefs, or they already have a preconceived notion about something. So they want to stick to that. And they want to make sure that anything that they see or that they consume follows that same algorithm or follows that same rhythm. So,
And people forget, I think we forget sometimes, majority of the people that use these social media platforms aren't people like us, I guess, like as in our generation or tech savvy people and all that kind of stuff, you know. Like I see my mum sometimes on TikTok, you know what I mean?
Facebook is bad.
Yeah,
Your
you know what
mum's
I
on
mean?
TikTok?
Facebook's
Yeah, my mum has TikTok downloaded, you know what I mean? So,
Whoa.
Does she comment on our videos?
no, she does.
Good.
She has Instagram too.
Is that the one attacking?
No. Anyway, so like that puts it into perspective sometimes that like it's not us young people like under 30 or whatever that are using it and I guess think with their prefrontal cortex and stuff like that. You know, there's people out there that are just see it and they think they see trigger words, you know what I mean? The West, the Zionists, and like anti-Semitic, and they just go into an attack and go straight to like the comments, you know what I mean? So it's like, well, like for all you guys that are listening, if you see rubbish on our timeline that you think is rubbish, keep commenting, keep the hate coming, because we need the attention.
well,
It only helps us,
loves
yeah.
it,
It only helps us,
Those Zionists hit us 10k views on that on that story,
Crazy.
on that short. Sorry, and the funny thing was that they actually had to stop it. They had the YouTube had to stop that from spreading any further. Literally, bro. Like, imagine the algorithm was gonna take it even further than what it was, but then they realized, hang on a second, this is actually gaining too much traction, and because it made sense, and it's obviously against the agenda of what these social media companies are, they're like, no, we can't let this go any further than what it is. Yeah.
Do you ever wonder who? Do you reckon there's like a department out there in YouTube, Instagram, Meta, whatever you want to call it, yeah, that goes, nah, that post there, we're going to censor it.
Yes.
How does that work? Like, you know, when
certain words.
Huh?
Certain words.
Even
they start
even
with.
I can't feed income.
Bro, they
What?
shadow banned us
What?
on
What do you
the
mean?
stories.
Yeah, even like the story yesterday I posted, I got like 300, 400 views.
That's
The
low,
question stuff. Yeah, obviously we have
Oh, yeah,
13,000.
true, yeah.
Basha as
13,000.
well. Basha as well. He copped it.
Yeah.
But one thing that I was tripping out about was I was actually scrolling through my feed and then I got to Omar Suleiman's page. And now they've got a new thing. I don't know if they had it in the past, but it's like a fake news filter that they put on a post before you're actually able to watch it. So they have like red writing and then it says that this is misinformation.
Wow.
And I clicked on Omar Suleiman's post and it was the people crying next to the Baptist church that was obviously bombed by the Israeli Defense Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've bombed the church. They've done it.
Yeah.
And then this post that they've posted to show the evidence, they've put a thing on top of it saying, the way they say, oh, this graphic images, see
Yeah.
video or see
like
why.
disclaimer.
Thing. Yeah, the disclaimer thing. So they put it in red and then it said, and I've got the screenshots of it, it said that this is misinformation. And then you click on it and then it said this was misinformation, was verified as misinformation by, and you click on it and it's an Israeli site. And I go to the site and they said, oh, this is a Twitter post from the Baptist church saying that this is misinformation and that we are running as usual. And it's the Baptist church's Twitter account. And somebody wrote,
Yeah.
and somebody wrote in Arabic telling people that we're operating as usual and we're blessed and Jesus loves us. And then you go to the actual information, but the Baptist church was blown up.
Wow.
It was blown up. But now you got people, like I said, who are sitting on the fence. People who aren't sitting on the fence, who are obviously leaning to one side, automatically will discount it. But they don't go to the person who verified that as misinformation. So now social media accounts are starting to mess about.
Can you rebuttal that Instagram misinformation, or they choose it as misinformation?
Can't
It's done.
rebuttal it.
And this is why I say Twitter is the superior app.
I think TikTok as well.
Twitter has, TikTok probably has it,
Yeah.
but Twitter
I'd say
has
TikTok is,
community guidelines. Not community guidelines, the community notes, sorry.
Okay.
Where if something is technically spread as misinformation, they'll have an individual department within Twitter that will go verify it, yeah, and then they'll give their actual reasoning behind it, yeah. And if you dispute it, or if a large enough dispute it, yeah, what ends up happening is you can overturn that misinformation or whatever. Like even like with the President Biden thing, when the whole 40 people were beheaded and all that kind of stuff, Twitter will go out there regardless of who it is. This is why I sort of appreciate Twitter a bit more compared to Meta, but it makes sense a little bit. And they will go, nope, 40 people actually not beheaded. This was da-da-da. Do you know what I mean? Reviewed by independent fact checkers. Damn.
Yep.
It's like the one where it's saying graphic content.
Oh,
It's similar
we
to the
should show
graphic
that
content one.
in the episode.
See that? Then you click on the bottom, it says, see why fact checkers say this is false.
I have not
And then
seen
you
that
go to the
yet.
fact checker, look at this. Israel did not bomb, destroy 900-year-old church of St. Bosworth. And then you go check who this bloke... Oh, no, that's the wrong photo. But then you go check who
Eunice,
it is. Yeah.
I love that.
And then you go check who it is, and it's obviously an Israeli entity that actually
Mm.
verified it as misinformation. And now, bro, And that's the funny thing, yeah. They're not even being blatant with. So they're not even being discreet with it. They're being blatant, bro. They're actually outwardly saying, "Oh, we know you see with your eyes the truth, but if you believe that, then
It's because I think they know that with Twitter and TikTok, they have almost no control or limited, that they'll make the most of Instagram, Facebook. They'll do whatever it takes.
yeah,
And that's where they can start to try convince you that it's possibly false information. Because TikTok, like, there's all personal accounts. Like you said, anyone on the earth with a phone can make an account, repost these videos. It's mostly reposting. The ones that are getting false information, they're just reposting it.
Exactly.
Are you guys going to say a story of a negative comment that you guys remember
Yeah, Ali, go
impacted
on.
you on the FT journey?
One of it was probably the marriage one.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was just real life.
Stole
'Cause
mine, yeah.
certain questions that were asked, and I remember Souhail and I had similar answers. So it was about both of our answers, and that I kind of got the person what they're like, where they're coming from. But then that's where I thought to myself, you shouldn't really take it that harshly, because that's your opinion anyway.
the question is personal preference.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what makes me
So
laugh.
I've got a
that's what
question
you
though.
start to think.
Have you ever then heard negative feedback and then you realize, hey, maybe like,
Maybe it's true.
yeah, maybe it's true.
Yeah.
Usually, for me, at least, it's only when something flares up in me that it's like, I know that this is true. Like, for example, yeah, like one of the comments was like, I can't remember what the comment was, but anyways, it's not an insecurity that was within me. It was something more of a, I know that this is something I need to work on, but somebody highlighted it. And then when they highlight it, I'm like, yeah, this guy's right. Now it's blatantly obvious.
Oh,
and
yeah, I've copped that before, yeah.
I'm going to fix that now. Does that
Can
make
you
sense?
give examples, or you're not comfortable?
I can't remember. off
I
the
know
top of
my
my
one.
head.
Yeah,
My one was, it wasn't an insecurity, but it was something I was conscious of and I was trying to work on it. But I didn't realize it was a thing until I was on the podcast. I used to say, what was my go-to word? You know what I mean? Was it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was
They said, let's make a count.
Let's make a count. I thought it was a legendary comment, by the way. Like,
Let's make
shout
a
out to
count.
you. But after that, I was like,
Abdurrahman Hassan.
was it?
Yeah.
No way.
Call him out, bro.
Probably one of the boys or something.
No, he is. The one that.
Oh, the
at
studies
Medina
one. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
now? He
But
called me out.
after that, so
Funny
what
guy.
ended up happening was I would then purposely try and not consciously say, you know what I mean. But the problem with that was I ended up, and also personally, I had a goal where I was actually trying to work on my articulation, you know, through realizing that I have some sort of, you know, problems on the podcast. Anyway, so then I would change my words. So what ends up happening is every month I'll come up with a new phrase just to combat not saying, you know what I mean.
When you say that, your old man told me you say 100% a lot on the podcast.
Yeah, his one was 100%.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So that's why I was like, okay, yeah. I knew that, and now it's even more obvious. So it's better for me to be conscious of it than to pretend, oh, nobody's telling me anything. So
And they're not wrong. Well, they're not wrong, because like then you go and listen to another podcast, and then you see those type of things, and it's like it's so jarring to listen to. It's like how many you know what I mean. I was like,
I think initially it hurts the most, because then it's like it's kind of confirmed, because maybe it's been the thought in your head. Because even with me, I've some things, the articulation, where it's like once someone says it, and the moment of realization and confirming, like, I actually do this, or I need to work on it, that's when it hurts the most. But then I guess with time realizing that it's not that bad,
yeah,
because some of these things, like for example what you're saying, you know what I mean, a few times, yes, we recognize it, but we don't make it a big deal.
yeah.
We don't always mention it to you in every episode. We don't mention 100%. I didn't even know that. 100%.
yeah, but like for me, I knew it.
Exactly. Because it's
And
like,
then your old man told me, and I was like, he's right.
yeah.
But I can accept it. For me to get better, I need to hear not only the positive things. I need to hear sometimes, oh, what do you need to work on? What areas of improvement there are, and that for me, I actually appreciate those comments more than somebody's telling me, oh yeah, I love what you do, or yeah, it's all good.
It's actually so much better
But
in the
that
long run.
doesn't do
Yeah,
anything. For
it helps you if anything. So it's like
Yeah.
you can take it on board, or at least not be arrogant enough to be like, no, like has to continue listening.
Yeah.
you know?
I remember having one of the comments early days, we're doing a sports episode.
Here we go.
And I mentioned something about like the NFL. It could have been in one of the,
I remember
because
this.
obviously we don't talk much NFL,
Yeah.
Was that Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
it was.
You all remember.
So I don't mention it.
Is this the TikTok one?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly what I was talking about, yeah?
Yeah.
But obviously my articulation, I didn't say it the right numbers, I think.
Yeah.
People were saying, what's this guy saying? No, it's actually this is the contract. This guy should not talk about NFL. And I realized, I don't watch NFL that much. I know a bit, but it's like, that hurt, man. I need to like only speak about what I actually know.
Yeah.
But then those type of things, it's like it just hurts in the moment. But then once you take a step back and you realize it's not that deep, man. America. Yeah. Do you-
Podcasting's hard because
Yeah.
you like a lot of times you chat about stuff you're not the most confident in, and that's where we have to kind of like be confident, say, "Nah, I'm not going to talk about that. I am going to talk about something else."
Yeah,
And
What's
you-
your one?
Yeah, what's yours?
the marriage one.
I said the negative comment before.
Not a negative comment. I'm saying what's something that's
Truth.
at home and then you're like, oh, hang on a second, I've noticed, so I'm gonna have to fix it. Or are you perfect?
No. Maybe just because sometimes like it's either talking over people, which obviously the podcasting has helped me, kind of work on, or the other thing was because even like listening more. Sometimes I'm just talking. Ali says like you jump in, really quickly with the guest, and then it's like someone else might not be able to do that. So even just being able to like listen, understand silence isn't bad. Give it a couple seconds, and then.
How about the audience though? Very rarely.
My dad pretty much told me that, like,
That's
as from like a hosting perspective,
Mm-hmm.
My dad should give advice to all of us.
Oh, you
We
almost
need to
know
keep
you,
asking,
bro.
honestly.
Yeah. He's got the experience, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. He's a listener.
And I think even just like in the field we're working with podcasting, no matter what level or how long we've been doing this, we're always going to have something to work on.
Oh, 100%.
So I think that's just that side of it, like acceptance is where you can really take it forward.
Bro, you
Yeah.
need to grow.
Yeah,
If you don't grow, man, like there's no point because you're gonna end up plateauing.
exactly.
And then when you plateau, you're gonna ask yourself why. But you know why.
Mm.
You're comfortable. You can't be comfortable in this, especially in this industry, when things change and they're changing so rapidly. Like every week, there's a new trend. There's something else of topic that's important to be speaking about. If you consistently stick to the one thing and it's not working for you anymore, then you should know that it's probably time to change. You know?
Yeah,
Would you go back to socials? Like having a personal brand?
I would. I feel like I'm gonna do it sooner rather than
Whoa.
later.
Hey.
Big sis.
I'm Jade, bro. 2024.
Yeah, no, look. This
How
is
long
75
is-
hard, body pics every day.
How long has this been in the
Nobody-
making? Confirm I've been working on this for the
Yeah.
longest.
It's not like you asking if you were the reason.
No, I'm not the reason. I know
Ah, so
100%.
he wants to
but
be
I've
the
been, but I've been saying, because I said it with all of yous, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
And then, not that I did it, yeah, but Ashraf went from being a private account to barely not existing to at least now being able to be tagged in posts.
I think once he got
You go to it.
once he got married, he's like, yeah, it's all good.
But it's hard, man. You have to be consistent. Like
for
it's gotta be on the forefront of your mind. But let's talk about Susie first.
me, yeah. Obviously, you guys knew what my stance was on before this. My stance on it was, bro, like the whole idea of following somebody else's life and being consumed by somebody else's, everyday actions and activities and me not having the time to be able to kind of sit down and focus on my own stuff and progress in my own life. It was, and obviously we see the highlights of everybody else's life and you look at maybe a mundane day, a mundane everyday, workflow or whatever it is, and you're like, hang on, why is my life like this? Why is their life like that? And da-da-da. But I feel like after building enough resilience or enough contentment in my own life, alhamdulillah, I feel like I'm at this point where there could be khair in what I do. And I'm starting to see it specifically through what's going on in the Palestinian situation. Everybody who has somewhat of a platform is able to make an effect. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us in the hereafter, like, you had a platform, you had the capability to make a platform, and you didn't share that kind of stuff, like, why didn't you do it? Oh, because I'm wrestling with my intentions. No, like, it's good to wrestle with your intentions, but you know how we're talking about leaving an action, or an action of khair is worse than leaving an action of khair is worse than just stopping it because of your wrestle with intentions.
It's better to do the action and fight the intention than to leave it at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to at least say, yeah, Allah, put it on the line, and that's it. I tried my best. And I was talking to you guys maybe last week or the week before about the possibility of doing our work through Sadaqah Jariyah, yeah? Through something that we leave behind in order for it to be a seed that continues to give us growth even after we're dead. So I feel like that, inshallah, would be probably the main thing for me, or the main reason for me to be going back to social media. If it was to, no offense,
Yeah.
wallah, no offense, but if it's to me to push my personal brand so that Nike can give me a sponsorship, I wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Let's revisit that in 6 months.
'Cause
When they go, what Jordans do you want? We'll give you whatever you want. And he goes, yeah, I'm in.
I want to
wave the rainbow flag now, yeah?
Wait, I want to know why it's no offense to me.
yeah, why is it?
No, because he's talking about personal brands. And
Yeah.
he's talking
Oh,
about us
yeah.
creating it. Like, look.
Maybe he sees your potential
'Cause
getting Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. But no, that's basically it. Yeah, so obviously you guys knew how staunch I was before. I never in my life, not until I was 19 years old, did I have an Instagram, Facebook, or anything. Then I opened my first Facebook account at 19 years old after I finished high school, and I thought to myself, "Well, this isn't me. I don't really care about sharing a picture with people. Don't really care about people being happy with me and oh yeah, getting a couple likes and da da da." And then I opened an Instagram account, and I remember posting a couple photos of myself. And then I started to get big numbers or like decent numbers for somebody who's somewhat of a nobody. You know what I mean? And it kind of, you feel a rush, yeah? Felt a bit of a rush. I'm like, doesn't feel normal.
It's nice, yeah. It's a good
So
rush.
when are you going to start?
2024.
Wallahu alam,
This
bro.
Monday when the app comes out.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
an actual like Instagram, like Souhail.
Souhail Abdu 01.
Bro, for me, yeah. I remember I was telling you guys, remember the first social media app that we did when Abshir was still on the podcast?
Shout out
Like,
Abshir.
it just, yeah, rest in peace. But
He was Keith. He was actually Keith at the time. He wasn't even Abshir.
so for me, it was like, the funny thing was I used to see it as basically like something pretentious, you know? Something that people went to stroke their own ego. And it's either that or you're there to stalk. Like there was no benefit in it. I thought about it. I'm like, how am I supposed to know when my favorite restaurant is closed on a public holiday or not? Do you know? There's those kind of correlations between socials now and you know, your everyday activities. So that was one thing. That's why I opened. That's why I opened myself to. I didn't open up my account. It's not-
Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
But
about.
yeah. So, and I don't know if you've noticed recently, I was starting to post all those Palestine things for our social media
Yeah.
because I felt like I had to do something, but I couldn't do it on my ones because I didn't have an account. Do you know what I mean?
Is this your subtle way of saying that you want to find a wife on social media? Because, you know, marriage is-
Influencer.
it's your age now. Like, yeah,
That's
it's
cute, bro. I
that's
might be married already. You don't even know, bro.
Married to the game, yeah.
you give it like.
That's my first social media post.
Married to the game. Take it.
Oh, this is going to change in the next 6 months.
Someone-
2024.
Some chicks were doing a. This was the funniest thing. They did, you know, like the filter where you put a beard on you and you look like a man?
Yeah.
So some girls were reading the captions of guys' pictures, yeah? And they were all like kind of like they're trying to be witty and they're trying to sound like Drake or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do puns and double entendres, bro. It was the funniest thing I ever heard in my life. Some of them were fire lines, bro. I was like, you know what?
I'm gonna
If you
steal
made that
some.
up, it's creative, man.
Yeah.
That'd be good, actually, if we all start becoming a bit more active.
On social media. Yeah.
What's the benefit for you? What do you feel like would be the benefit of
Well-
gaining a larger platform?
One thing is personal brand, like to be well known or known for something, and it's to spread that benefit. I personally, for example, inshallah, Fair Income still grows and does what it wants to do. But what I want to do in the future, having a personal brand and being known, specifically Ashraf, for X, Y, and Z, would be very beneficial. You know, like it's like if people can learn more about you, especially doing a podcast. I'm 25% of these chats, but then guests is always a bit different. So, you know, obviously, like I like to read books, like
book
to
club,
learn.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's a vibe.
Yeah, we'll see what we could do. But I think for me, for maybe the business or my aspiration stuff, it would be good to have a personal brand. But it's like the thing, it's the fighting the intentions, you know, and the effort that you got to put in. It's like, am I doing this just to show people that I'm doing it? It's something you fight every single day, you know, like even traveling.
Can we break it down a little bit? What are these like intentions that we're like fighting? I know it's obvious with the word,
Yeah.
but some people might not be following along when we're just using the word.
Like, how was it
intentions.
for
Like-
you making that change?
Like when you say intentions, yeah, what do you mean specifically? Like,
Even like when I go on a holiday,
yeah.
you know, like we all went Thailand, you know, we're all talking about posting and, you know, take a nice pic. It's like, am I posting to
We
show
were
people?
talking about that. Were we?
I don't know, like when there's a nice pic, you're like, damn, it's a fire pic.
You would.
Nothing
You
wrong
was.
with it. But it's like you have the intention, like, am I posting to show people I'm in Thailand and I'm a traveler or my ex, you know, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
like Chang, you know.
That's
you
you, bro, yeah.
Yeah.
like
I do
these
wait
kind
for
of things where gym,
Wait for
travel, you know, whatever you do, it's like, are you showing people, you You know, what's your intention for showing people? It's like taking a photo on the Fifi Islands. Like, why am I showing people? Am I trying to, you know? And that's a hard thing that sometimes you're doing different phases where you're like, yeah, I'll post that. And I think archived some of your posts sometimes.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Yeah.
So it's like the kind of thing. It's like, oh, I don't want people to see that, and then I don't mind, and we all go through that.
Sure.
You know.
I sometimes just think it's not a good enough photo.
That's what I was thinking. I was going to say, isn't that a Somali thing?
I was just about to ask you why.
Why do you? Somali thing. Why it is?
You know, I've seen a lot of the Somali boys do that.
The archiving always.
Yeah.
Because
They'll
they've
have
gotten
photos,
older, they've
no
got a
photos.
beard.
Because I think
then the account doesn't have anyone on there. Then
I
it
don't
does.
know. They probably got ops or something like that.
I've seen TikToks of people say like, "Oh, I rate when someone has 0 photos." So I think maybe that's why he changed it.
I was like,
It's like, "Oh, try it
I
out.
think it's
I'll
kind of-
test it out."
It might be
Test
actually
the waters.
borderline feminine.
What, to have 0 photos?
No, like to be the constant removing, uploading, archiving. Do you get what I mean?
yeah, I think that's pretty. It's
It's borderline.
pretty common with females.
Yeah, they
it is.
they do that a lot. So
So mostly because the quality of
It's
the
not a
photo.
feminine quality.
no,
but
because I just generally look at photos from a different aspect. I think of photos being like for example, when I upload photos to like either my story or something, it's sort of I like it in a certain way, unless it's downright just a stupid like egghead type of photo where you just upload anything for the sakes of it. Often, like I've actually gone and taken effort. I've taken effort into actually taking that photo, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a story or something along those lines. You know what I mean? So like same with photos, same thing. Like I don't just post anything. Like this guy will always tell me, yeah, you're too much of a perfectionist or something like that. Because I don't know, just like quality of photos. Like I go and follow even accounts. Like for example, some accounts that I follow on Instagram might not be like celebrities or whatever, but I'll go and follow like photographers, you know what I mean, who appreciate like the art of like photography, not to sound like whatever cliche or whatever. So it's like that same side of things.
Can I ask? Do you wish you posted more, or do you like have that intention?
That's why I made that second account. So then that second account is almost, it's like a smaller audience of people that I don't care about.
like an intimate audience.
Yeah, because also like on the big account, like why don't I just post if everything I don't mind taking that photo of, why didn't I just go post it on that main account? So in a way, then technically I do care about what people think. You get what I mean? So then that second account sort of comes into play where I don't care about what I post. Everything is just a photo album.
Oh, is that? Yeah,
Don't say it. Don't say it. Wait, how do you know though?
Bro, connected to all the boys.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it would be good. Honestly, if you're having a podcast, it's the right thing to do to try to have a personal brand. People can build a connection.
And I
with you.
appreciate people like that. Like for example, like when I saw Ali posting his 75 hard challenge, yeah, I appreciate the idea of not caring and just posting. You know what I mean? Because it's not even like, what am I portraying or whatever. It's just like, he doesn't care what type of video it is. It's like, regardless, I made that video, I put it out there. And half of it is just putting it like out there, Sometimes like I know one of the boys once was telling me, and I've heard this a couple of times, it's like, I rate your other account more than your like main account.
Me
You know
too.
what I mean? Have you said that? Was
Because,
it?
yeah, maybe I was one of them.
Yeah, okay.
One of many.
Okay.
Because honestly, I rate those, bro. Because you post carousel, so you post a few photos in the one post,
Mhm.
and it shows different things in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it depends on how much you want to share, but that's what I like. I want you to post more. I don't know what's holding you back, but you have it.
That's where it goes into sort of, and we had this in the spine when we were talking about, it's like, how much of ourselves do we actually want to portray to the world? Because it's weird sometimes. I find it very, very weird where like, I might not see the boys from the area or something like that for a minute, and there might be like a qada or something like that. And then after a lunch.
Like the nikah.
Like a nikah or something like that, yeah? And then after, you bump into them.
I said it right.
No,
No,
you
you
didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You said it like you slurped the drink.
You said it like Facebook. But then you bump into them and you have a conversation and it's like, oh, they mentioned such and such and such. It's like, but I haven't seen you in like 3 months. It's kind of like awkward,
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I like battle if it's anything.
Something you got used to.
Yeah, it's hard, honestly. Like I'm at like day 18 posting now.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to a point where I realize, oh my God, I'm posting and I'm not actually caring at all what people are going to think. Because in the past you can think like, oh, the small clip I'm going to put, should I show that? What are people going to think of that? Oh, I don't look good in that.
Yeah.
Because of course that can really happen as well. It's like, oh, you don't look good in this video. I don't want to show it.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard one thing about Nick Bear was talking about. He said done is better. He basically said done is better than perfect.
Yeah, you're not on the shot.
It doesn't matter.
Go hold it off for a
Yeah,
second.
no, you can talk and we just get it on this, and then by the time they fix it, bang.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna make something like.
No,
But it's
this-
not- it's
this
not
might
easy.
This might be a TikTok. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the way we think, yeah. Just,
You gotta get this clip. You know.
but it's not easy, bro. Like, it's gotten to a point I'm doing 20 days, and you know, you start to realize, oh my, like you're posting it. You're even if it's 70, 80%, I'm still posting it, because there's days where it's like I've left it to the last second to edit the video and pick whatever I want in it, because obviously sometimes you run out of ideas. But then you start to realize the little details sometimes don't matter as much as it is in your head.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things I said was like, I heard from Nick Bear. He basically said, done is better than perfect, because perfect never gets done, basically. So,
Like that.
so it's always better to, if you see like a draft could be good enough, but then your perfection gets in the way, you're going to spend an extra hour just to make it 5% better. You might as well just put it out there. Next one. You're going to get better the next one. And then in a year's time, if not, or even 6 months' time, you improve a lot by then.
Yeah.
Is that your mindset with the posting? Just post and
Yeah,
heck,
right
I'll
now.
get better over time.
I think at the start I was very specific with details, filter, how do I look? And now because I just want to get it done, it's mainly the consistency. I don't want to miss a day. Now it's like I just get it, post
Well,
it.
that's sort of true with like our first YouTube video that we done, or second,
The
Depending
fatty one.
depending if we count the Thailand vlog. But the one we done with Fadi, yeah, where the video we done with Fadi, like the process, how it was streamlined or whatever, was when it was done, when we got to the end stage, I was like, oh, that's not that bad. So why do we put off all this extra content and all those times? You know what I mean? It's like half of it is due to us being like perfectionists. So we got to have the right content, the right cameras, and it's like afterwards, it's like let's record more. You know?
Have you watched the gym workout video Ahmed edited and stuff?
I have not seen it.
Okay, it's
You
on the
should.
drive. I sent him more notes to him, like things to like tweak.
Yeah.
And then when I'm watching, I'm like, I don't know if this is good enough to post.
No, you can't.
You know, so you might have to watch it and then see. Because
Okay.
I think maybe we're hard on ourselves because we know what we're capable of.
Yeah.
But then it's like you can only do with what content you have. Like for example, Thailand or whatever travels you've been on, you recorded it. You can only make what you have.
Mm.
Maybe I think you know, a last thing we can chat about can be how we try to find the balance of, you know, having a personal brand and still keeping it private. Like what's some rules? Like for example, my rule is like obviously I'm married. I try not to post my wife or my immediate family. Like that's something I do on my account. Obviously everyone has different things, but I've always kind of been like that. Like I try not to post my sisters or my mum. I don't really care about, like, my dad doesn't care if he gets posted, but my mum, sisters, like, you know, my wife, that's things I do. Even like obviously if you play soccer and you wear shorts over your knees and stuff, I try not to post that because then it like normalizes maybe the aura, you know. And that's kind of a thing where it's like, you know, what if people keep seeing it online, it's like, oh, Ashraf's doing it and Fulan and this person is like, oh, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
But that's like things that I try to keep, you know. Or even if
That's
like
good that you
it's
do that.
it's
'cause I
like a
know-
music thing or
You know, it's good that you do that because I've realized that even in the gym, like we'd be in the gym or we'd be in Thailand, for example, and you'll be like, specifically don't post like or something along those lines. And in my world, I'd just go out and post that. Do you get what I mean? And it's like, damn, maybe like I gotta have a bit of relegation, like, you know, the regulations when it comes to what I post, you know?
we all have things we need to work on. Music, you know, if it's, you know, wearing shorts or certain clothes we wear, but whatever it is, but you just don't want to normalize it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where people are like, if every single guy you go on social media does that, it's like, what's wrong with it? But if no one does it, you know, you want to set a standard.
Female families are given. It's like,
But everyone's
yeah.
different. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh,
that
no,
private.
for me, it's a given, like, without a
Oh,
doubt,
yeah.
like regardless, like whether my sisters are graduating, whether my mom's come back from overseas. Some people do, and I find that so interesting, you know?
Mm.
But I guess it differs between different people. But I guess it all goes back to a bit of
Yeah,
identity.
some guys I know like post their wives, and obviously like it's even if it's a private account with a couple hundred followers and stuff, and I just like
What about joint account?
You know someone has a joint account?
Let's not talk about that.
yeah.
Someone has a joint account?
No, as in like
There are.
people that do couples Instagrams.
YouTube, podcasts, all that kind of stuff.
You guys against
Like,
that?
what's his name?
What's wrong with that?
Bazinga? Sideman?
Like Dina and Sid
Yeah.
and Dina.
Yeah.
I think we don't have enough time left on the podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole episode in itself.
Anyway, I was gonna talk about what was that last question you asked? The identity thing?
who
You asked that last question
I
about
asked now about
do you
what is your with personal brand, what do you try to keep private? So what's the balance? And then
Yeah.
now they talk about couples.
Yeah, and I've low-key started to delve into that because of this like whole concept of identity and like who you are and how you are to different people. Yeah, and so then obviously on a podcast or on a social media platform, you're portraying yourself as is going to be on to a much larger audience, obviously, because you might have thousands of followers with the account, whatever this, that, you know? Like even with that CIA podcast that I sent you guys the other day, I don't know if you've seen in the group chat.
So could you maybe tell
Lex
what happened?
Friedman.
I didn't watch it though. Yeah.
It was okay. So Lex Friedman had this CIA guy. He's like a spy agent.
Tom
or whatever.
Billieu.
There was a Tom Billieu one. Did I not send
The
the Lex
CIA
Friedman?
guy. Yeah, I know the guy. The guy, the long hair, looks
The
like
long hair.
Joaquin.
Yes,
Back
that
in the
guy
days.
there, yeah.
Shout out to Joaquin.
Like, first of all, a lot of the podcast was like BS, you know, like in regards to the Russia-Ukraine stuff. Like, it's like when you chuck the CIA spy agent along a lot of that kind of stuff, obviously it's going to catch people's like attention and whatnot. But one part of the conversation I found very, very interesting, and I wanted you guys to listen to it. It was about like human behavior, you know, and he was speaking about as an agent, it's hard. I think Lex asked him a question. He goes, so how do you hide your identity as a person, yeah, when you go out and go onto like spy agent missions and stuff, and they train them, you know, like specifically, like how do you move, like in terms of your truth and not changing it when you're speaking to another person, all that kind of stuff, and especially when you're talking to them, you know. And then I was thinking about it in like myself as well. I was like, because he explained there's three types of you, okay? And I'll find the quote or whatever when he was talking about the three different types of you. It's like who you are in private, yeah, who you are in public, who you are in private, and who you are in secret. There's the three yous, you know, who are publicly to the, I guess, the internet and all that kind of stuff. Your secret is to those like beloved family members, your friends, more immediate, whatever. And secret is literally you in a bedroom or something along those lines, or you in the toilet, just when it's you in the car or whatever, you know. And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, even on like the social media side of things, you know, how am I in regards to that, you know? And it gets you thinking. It's like, what are you trying to like portray? And Lex Friedman goes on to speak about how he tries and remain a neutral stance regardless of who he speaks to. So then later on, it becomes easier to attract certain people or easier to conversate with certain people.
He does come across like that.
He does. And the problem with that is he gets a lot of backlash because then it doesn't really seem like someone who stands for anything at all. You know, because he will go and speak to Benjamin Netanyahu, and then he will go speak to Palestinian, for example, you know, whose podcast he's interviewed both of them, you know.
Yeah. So can I ask you personally, like, how do you try to keep private? You said no family, no, you just... Obviously, you're not posting every day, which is a bit easier.
I actually don't post a lot.
Yeah. So
you know, would you guys say I post a lot?
No, not much.
If
Even stories, not much.
Yeah.
You're very
Ali's a
intentional.
lot, 'cause
You're very
every day.
intentional.
Yeah.
That's about
No,
it.
but wait, but that's Ali 75 hard.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
That's
that's
actually
Ali.
That's even a lot.
Like, I don't
Daily.
know, every day or every second day,
That's the thing.
you know?
You
Like
know,
even, for example, when we went on to Thailand, I didn't post for probably like, I actually didn't even post anything on my main account in regards to like Thailand, you know? First of all, because I thought nothing was...
There?
Yeah, wrap it
Yeah.
up there.
Inshallah. I hope you guys all enjoyed the episode. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.